Browns roster, let's move on to that topic. 53 is out. There could still be some tweaks to it. What do you think the strengths of the roster are, and what about the biggest areas of concern? When you look at it, you know, you've been doing this a long time like I have. I don't remember a roster where I'm going, yes. I mean, we're arguing about the 6th wide receiver, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that's the biggest takeaway, is it was just another confirmation of how strong the roster is and how strong it's become. You know, I think, you know, the biggest news flashes were Kadarius Hodge gets, you know, I liked him. I thought he made sense on this roster. Is it that big a deal? No, that he's not coming back. You know, Malik McDowell, the defensive tackle with the checkered past, the fact that he was able to come back and make it where the Browns could not afford to cut him, I think that's a good story. And I think that's, you know, one of the things that jumped out to me of the initial 53-man roster. But when you talk about strengths, I mean, it's what it was before camp. It's the offensive line. And that's because your top probably 7 guys are all back from last year. Chris Hubbard and Nick Harris behind your starting 5. And those guys are healthy, right? Heading into week 1. I mean, J.C. Treader hasn't practiced in a while, but Kevin Stefanski says he'll be out there week 1. We know what a gamer he is. So, you know, if he is, and if he's good to go, and if he plays like J.C. plays, then the offensive line's the strength. You know, I think running back with Chubb and Hunt, this is not news. I think the receiver position is deep. You know, we mentioned Kadarius Hodge might have been the 6th guy. And then, you know, concerns, we already covered kicker. That's a concern. And then defensive end, it's such a vitally important position that you want as much depth and talent as possible. And obviously, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, and Takk McKinley are healthy and stable and on the field every week, then it probably doesn't matter who that 4th end is, even though that end will play a little bit. But we know McKinley has, you know, some issues. He's away from camp for 3 weeks with personal reasons. We know Jadeveon Clowney's injury history. So I think that adds importance to that 4th end, and that's Joe Jackson. They cut him and then brought him back this week. So that's a position where, you know, I like Joe Jackson, but, you know, could you count on him to be your starter if there were injuries and situations? I don't know. So that's a position where, you know, I think you have to keep an eye on. They did bring back Porter Gustin and Curtis Weaver on the practice squad, which helps with the depth. But, you know, if they had upgraded that 4th spot or even kept a 5th guy, I might have felt a little more comfortable with that.
Yeah, I would agree. That's an area just to keep an eye on.